Wouldn't you like a car that costs so little to own? Ford gives you a great deal more.
The Ford Fiesta, one of the most iconic cars to come to Britain. This car has been loved for centuries, and today we're going to see why. So today we're going to be diving in on the history, the reason why they're so beloved, the stigma around them, and a final conclusion of whether you should own one yourself. So first up, the history. The Fiesta first released in Europe in fall 1976. It was called the Fiesta because it was manufactured in Spain. It was meant to be fun to drive, and it was. It finally came to the US in 1978. The first few models only had 4-cylinder, 50 horsepower engines. The Fiesta had better suspension and handling than its competitors, and was a lot lighter as well, which resulted in better fuel economy and faster acceleration. In 1981, they released the Ford Fiesta XR2 with a 1.6 litre engine and the first to reach 100 miles per hour. Because of this, the Fiesta started getting positive attention from journalists. Slightly later on, the Fiesta 2 came out. Along with this came the XR2 Mark II, which journalists went crazy about. By the time the Fiesta Mark III came out, Fiestas were taken more seriously. The mod community went crazy, and by the late 90s, the Fiesta Mark IV came out. By this time, the Fiestas were more sought after. The Fiestas were cheap, starting at £7,600, which resulted in it being very popular for young drivers and older drivers who just need the second car. And with this price, it made it easy for people to get their hands on the car, which is why it's so popular to this day. And then that's when the confusion is. The Mark V. The Mark V was meant to be a Mark IV facelift, but people in the UK saw such a difference they called it the Mark V, which resulted in confusion all around the world. And now it's to the modern day Fiestas. So first we're starting with the interviews, people who've had first-hand experiences of driving a Ford Fiesta.
What's your name and what Fiesta do you have?
I'm Kieran. I drive a 1.4 Mark VI Fiesta. I have lowered springs on it. I have a Hornet exhaust and in the works of a facelift.
So my name's Charlie Hands and I used to have a 1.2 2011 Ford Fiesta.
And what mods did you use to it?
So I did eBay lowering springs, I did eBay exhaust, new front bumper and grille, which were from the higher spec model, the ZTEC S, along with the front lights, and then I also did the ZTEC S rear bumper as well.
So what things do you like about your Fiesta?
I really enjoy the speakers. They're very good, but the stereo is very dated. I also enjoy the handling. It's a lot better than other cars around that price range. And the build quality of the interior is very premium.
The favourite things about it was that, especially because it was a 1.2 litre, it was quite slow, which is weird to say, but obviously that made it a lot more fun to drive on all different types of roads. Not just that, is that because of the lightweight, it was very good round corners and it was just a fun car in total to drive. Overall it was just nice to drive on a daily and it was just fun in general.
So what things would you improve about your Fiesta?
So over time the boot latch does get very rattly, and also there's a boot leak, but put a new boot seal in and it's fine. Another problem is with the water pump, it does tend to go quite a lot, but get it changed and it's fine.
So when does it go? Like
when you drive the car hard, around like 50,000 miles.
The fact that it was a 1.2 and it was so ridiculously slow, the fact that you struggled to overtake on the motorway, the fact that it was just quite difficult to, you know, almost get into trouble with it because of how slow the car was in general.
Yeah.
So yeah, just that.
last question, would you recommend it to a friend?
Yes, I would recommend this to a friend. It is a great first car. It has brilliant MPG and it's great around town. Always beats the courses. Another reason why I'd recommend this car to a friend, as it is very easy to work on, parts are cheap, and because of the age of it, you can find it down the scrapyard, which makes it even cheaper. You can also get a service for around £100, including brakes, which is a very good deal. Another reason is because there's a wide community online that can help you fix your car and get mods for your car on Facebook and other places like that.
Absolutely, they're great fun cars, and I do miss having mine. It was so much more fun driving about on a lot of the roads in England, because obviously being small, it went round corners great, whereas obviously the car I have now is quite big and heavy, and it's a little bit more of a boat.
This is Charlie's current car, a 2003 Lexus IS 200 2-litre inline 6. And now, the Mark 8 Fiesta. This is the newest Fiesta that Ford have to offer. This car in Pacific has a 1 litre EcoBoost engine producing 125 horsepower, which has a return of 65 miles per gallon. It looks stunning in the magnetic grey finish. It comes with a sporty exterior, with blacked out grills, and with a sporty splitter on the front. The back looks similar to recent years of the Fiesta. The dash is covered in gloss black plastic with matte accents. The steering wheel is full leather with grey stitching all round. The gauges and speedo are analogue, not digital, a bit disappointing for the age. The seats are accented with white and red stitching all around. Now to the best bit. The digital display has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. With this you can go through your Spotify playlist, messages, calling and Google Maps.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
That's pretty good to be fair. One of the smartest features of the display is the Google Maps Auto Connect feature. If you have a location up on your phone, as soon as you press start, it will sync with the entertainment system in the car. This EcoBoost ST line comes with 16-inch rims as standard. Paired with those rims comes some Michelin Pilot Sport 4s for some extra grip around Mackey's car park. Onto the most popular Fiesta, the Mark 6. I previously owned one of these, so let's get into it. This is my full Fiesta. It's a 2007 1.4 Silver Edition. I've got 40mm lowering springs, a Hornet exhaust, and some slight bodywork modifications. The interior is nice and spacious, but as Kieran said, the stereo is outdated, so you need that changed. I owned it for 8 months and did 20,000 miles. If only the head gasket could go, I think that's pretty good, especially for the mileage. With it doing 111,000 miles at this point, it's expected to go, especially if half of those miles being driven hard. But now, it's on to the conclusion. In conclusion, the Fiesta is a brilliant first car. It's cheap to buy, you can get them for around £700. Cheap to insure. Insurance for first year driver is quoted around £1,400, which isn't bad. It's pretty good for this. That's for 1.4, which is pretty good. Cheap to fix. You can get a full service for £200, and that's from experience. As long as you're willing to do it yourself. And as well, it's just an all-round good car. You know, you can fit your family, friends in, but it's not too big where you're going to be worried to bump into the car behind you. It's a brilliant starting point for car guys. You know, if the mods are pretty cheap, you get exhaust for about £100, £150, lowering springs for about 80. You know, it's just a good car to start off with if you're not that confident and start getting building your skills up. You know, once you build those skills up and you've got used to driving the Fiesta, you know, you could get to bigger and better cars. For example, Charlie, you know, he's got IS 200 now, which is a 2 litre inline 6, and my new car, which is a 1.8 turbo TT. I really miss my Fiesta. I know it sounds stupid, but it was such a good all-round car. It was reliable, good MPG. It never let me down, and you know, I just had loads of fun in it. It was a fun, nippy little car to go around town in. You know, as Kieran said, beats the courses. If you're out there looking for your first car, I'd 100% recommend the Fiesta. There's so many models out there. There's a Mark 6, which goes from a 1.125, 1.3 and a 1.4 with the standard models, and then there's obviously the 1.6 Z-Tech S, 2-litre ST, and then there's the Mark 7, which comes in a 1 litre EcoBoost, which is probably the best option you could get, because you get a return of 140 horsepower, well, depending on the variant. So yeah, I think honestly, just get a full Fiesta. You'll be so much happier.